Okay, god damn, I'm gonna try to power through this. So this is the blog before the battery shuts off. Why politics are a stupid bore. For as long as mankind has existed in packs, forms of politics and a pecking order has also followed. First it was, I rule because my club is bigger than yours. And then it was, I rule metaphorically because my club was bigger than yours. See Billary for further info. When caveman clubbing no longer constituted as reasonable leadership, the election process progressed into my farm is bigger than yours. And royalty in its origins, and this is no joke, started with he who had the most livestock was declared king. And you know who had the most livestock? The guy that stole the most livestock. Seems like good management material to me. I think personally it should have been the guy with the happiest livestock, and I reference again the idea of cows with bumpets, because no matter how chilled that milk is, it will never be as chilling as Palin sporting the same. He with the most cows was declared king, and after lineage with royal blood decree became more problematic, cousins marrying cousins, nieces trying to marry uncles, the royal line started to resemble something like Out of the Hills Have Eyes and Children in the Corn creepy. So though we've had many great leaders, there are some spoiled twats with no humility to God that cause political problems for funsies. And kingdoms inevitably became a pit of snakes, and unless you were really charming with a pan flute, that shit is just ugly as sin. The newer idea has become elections. Ah, yes, where the little ambitious hopefuls go up to the podiums with little speeches they didn't write, grandiose promises, which is essentially no different from high school elections. No homework days ever. Pizza parties for everyone, every day, every time. But it never happens. Now, everyone goes up to the podium with their big kid signs, but printed, so it's different. Laminated. Ooh. And don't start talking about label makers, or the Republicans will jizz themselves with, because it's the most titillating topic that they've whispered since 1979 when they still had a soul. Have I made friends yet? No? Good. Fuck politics. Here's a checklist for a successful campaign. A list of vacuous promises sure to pander to a glob of humanity. A catchy campaign motto, something boner-worthy and strong. 3 to 5 words is best. Patriotic coloring. Absolute garbage music and a few self-important artists who think that they're helping. Although whoever Rage Against the Machine plays for. Any takers? Didn't think so. Address the public like they are 5th graders. Never use big words. Dictionaries are heavy. Nerds. Words are for nerds. Don't enable nerdism. Nerds will question your authority too easily. Always dress like drab automatons. Or furniture. The furniture seems to be in right now. Pay millions for a pantsuit that looks like a papazon, for example, and then go give a speech to the poor. Try to answer questions by not, and instead interjecting your party's lines, mottos, and agendas wherever you can, even if it's not appropriate. Can we nuke Guantanamo for shits and giggles? Yes, we can. More crab cakes, Mr. Trump? No way, Jose. But I'm from Guantanamo. I'm from Guatemala. I don't want watermelons either. But speaking of which, where's Melania? All due respect, I have no problem with you. The goal is to speak without actually saying a goddamn thing. What is forgettable is normal. And you don't want middle-class America shifting on their seat like they have hemorrhoids. So don't tell them that there is no middle-class America, for example. When in debate, it's okay to lie. Seriously, just make shit up. Facts that fit the topic. People, places, even whole events. Go right ahead. Accuracy and stats is merely a suggestion point. Like, please don't touch that famous art or bring it home with you. Read between the lines. Stats are all about phrasing. So, for example, if you want to ignore the fact that certain minorities get killed more by cops than any other. Just list the number of white people that are killed by the cops and ignore that white people make the mass majority. See? Problem solved. Be sure to appoint people that make you look really on top of it in comparison. Scandals are funny and serve as good combos around the Camp David fire. When you are president, scandals aren't funny. So keep banging on Whore Island, where it belongs. Mess up in office? No big deal. Create a countering disaster. Oh no, the Pentagon has lost more money than all of Pauly Shore's movies combined. What's that? A bomb went off. It's like forgetting your project in school and pulling the fire alarm. To cover. Funny and always a good idea. Flashy and loud things make for the best distractions. Sparkles too. So, glitter bomb? Just put it down there. Whenever a panel or press asks you a tough question about why you were ineffective, just blame Congress. Statistically, it's probably their fault anyway. Be sure to always throw in patriotism into everything you can. Where are those clothes from? America. Want them? Yes. Where's that car made? America. Want it? Yes. Kiss this baby? Made in America? No. Then no. Children are political props. Dress them, teach them, and name them as such. They don't count because they can't vote anyway. The system relies on your belief in it, which is exactly what many forms of government don't want you to believe in yourself. You aren't a unicorn, as it were, so go right ahead. Put down the glue gun, North Korea. Those ponies aren't fooling anybody. What the system doesn't want you to realize is that there's a common ground between many people. You want what's best for your kids, most likely. I don't have to know who you vote for to know that. Respect leaders that respect you and question the ones that don't. The king hat is very shiny, but it also is very heavy and it leads to bad hairlines. I don't vote, mainly because Grumpy Cat refuses to be a candidate. But as long as I'm held a political captive, I might as well vex as many people as I possibly can. See Illuminati. Once you understand how long you have actually been a prisoner to these parties, it's a bit difficult to be romanced by the warden unless you have Stockholm Syndrome. Don't have Stockholm Syndrome. Best therapy ever. Not all systems are created equally. Some give a shit about you and others just like to watch poor people sweep up their crummies. Please, crummy responsibly. It is said that you can judge a leader, society, or government by their treatment towards the sacred, the innocent, and the vulnerable. These theories aren't rocket science, which is good because rockets are really rarely useful. It's common sense. Doesn't take a genius to rule well, just a person who can return to humility. The world is not your play toy, and you will be remembered by the purity and poignancy of your impact. Kids, play nice. Can't remember the rules? You can return to kindergarten. Except for you, Anthony Wieners, you stay away, 50 feet away at all times. The root of the problems in leadership is the disconnection from people. But Camp David, you forgot a T. But those aren't people. Those are politicians in pantsuits who are now pantless, drunk, and riding on that stupid train. I always appreciated Biden for riding on the subway. Brave and important, and yet, you know, it's pretty Irish, so there you go. When you don't understand the plight of the people, everything becomes signatures on a page. Not so much weight in that. Kennedy would travel into poor neighborhoods and remind his children of what they had. Be like Kennedy. We see picket lines and enemy lines. But just keep in mind as you're trading human rights, it's hard to cage a bird that has already tasted freedom. And there will be a lot of squawking. And squawking is a really unpleasant noise. And leads to molting, which leads to those weird feather balls that are covered in poop and seed, and it's just gross, so I wouldn't recommend it. It's wise to remember that. It's wise to remember that. Oh, Jesus Christ, this line. I didn't want to say it, but let's go. Remember that the white man is not the enemy. He's just first in line to walk, talk, and act like one. Politics is make-believe. Big kids playing in sandboxes, building castles with Tonka trucks. Get over it. I know overstuffed blazers are God, but the government isn't really a thing. It just wants you to believe that it is. And as long as you continue to believe in its power, you'll forget to believe in yours. You do you regardless. But what do I know? I'm just a professional anarchist.